Hello, I am here again. It is me, Denise Marie, here to deliver you another fun and exciting topic. And I'm going to try not to do this with my hands the whole time I'm talking to you today, because I swear to you, every thumbnail I ever look at of myself before I post a video looks quite the same. I'm either doing this, or I'm touching my ear, or I'm like, I don't know, like doing this with my hands. I'm going to try not to do any of those things, but no guarantees. Anyways, this is a follow-up to our last topic, and if you caught it, it was all about Reiki and how supportive and therapeutic and relaxing and all of its benefits, and we dove in deep into that topic. I'm very passionate about this. This is the follow-up for that. So if you have stumbled upon this video and you want to check it out, you can do so. It's called Reiki and all of its benefits. But if you have an idea already of what Reiki is and you're just looking to deepen your knowledge about the chakra system, which is literally what we're tuning up when we go through the process of Reiki, which is a kind of like a hands-on or hands above healing modality. Yeah, this is what we're working on. We're working on the chakras, you're working on the meridians, and we're going to dive in deep into this. If you have questions for me, please leave them in the comments and I will answer them. I am pumped. I am passionate. I do not have a headache today. Let's get to it. So let's chat all about the chakra system. I don't know why I'm singing. Anyways, as a kind of just to give you a foundational aspect of what we're dealing with here, there are 7 major chakras in the body. Now, there are hundreds of minor chakras, but there are 7 major ones. And if you've been to like a yoga class, or you've done any sort of like mindfulness training, or if you've done any sort of meditation, you will likely have heard a little bit about the chakra system already. The root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart. You might have even heard of them in their Sanskrit words. So I'm going to try and do both for you today, even though I'm going to try not to butcher the Sanskrit word. I've heard them enough times. I think that I can pump this out, but anyways, we're going to move along. We're not going to get through all 7 of the chakras today, just because I want to do each of them justice. We are going to go through the first 3, and then there will be another follow-up video, yes, a 3rd installment, talking about the final 4. So just kind of to keep you up to date there. I just don't want this video to be 6 hours long and you just see that it's 6 hours long and you instantly turn it off because you're like, I'm not listening to her ramble for 6 hours. Anyways, so first 3 today, next 4 in the next video, so you can keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyways, let's go through it. So I'm a little bit of a chakra junkie. I don't even know if you're ready to handle the book I'm about to show you. This topic is so fascinating to me and caught my attention so much, and it resonated with me so deeply that I bought probably the biggest book I've ever seen in my life. I try not to get scared. Oh God, see, I can't even okay. This is the book I'm talking about. This is the book that I am referring to. I have read almost every single page. I mean, it is gigantic, but this is for people that are really looking to really deepen their knowledge. But this is the complete book of chakras by Cindy Dale. She's amazing. If you haven't seen any of her videos, you should check her out. She's sweet as can be. But yes, I have pretty well almost finished this entire book. So a lot of the information I took from here, some of it I took from my Reiki teacher, who is a unicorn, Sonia Madden from Astro Wellness. I mentioned her in my previous video about Reiki as well, as she is a Reiki master and a Reiki teacher. So yes, and then some of it is really just my own knowledge. And what I really want to do with this topic is kind of connect how your chakras make manifest in your psychological and your physiological body, so you can identify where your energy might be trapped. So now that you've seen my wild book and you understand just like the level of interest I take in this topic, we're going to move right along. But I'm going to try and break this down as simply as possible. And I did this in such a way where I'm not like just throwing information at you, because I don't want to be overwhelming you in any way. So these are going to be really high level. But again, if you are looking for more information, you can always ask me, or you can pick up a book from Cindy Dale. She does have shorter ones that are more concise. Anyways, why are you here? Why are you watching this video today? Maybe you are watching it because you watched the video on Reiki and you want to deepen your understanding about the chakra system and you're feeling intrigued. Number 2, when you hear the word chakra, you are pulled in. This is what happened to me. This is a very personal story. Like when I heard about them, when I learned about them, there was like this calling. It resonated with me. I needed to know more. There was no other option. obviously. So it's something you feel really called and drawn to. So that might be another reason you've joined me here today, because you feel called to learn more information as well. And maybe this is just the tip of the iceberg for you, and everybody will be buying this book and sales for Cindy Dale will go up. Who knows? Anything could happen. I'm in a mood today. Like I said, if you want to deepen your understanding about what exactly Reiki is, which is what we talked about last week, and then you want to put the two together with understanding what the energetic bodies are within you that Reiki is addressing, this is for you. Because I want you always to have all the education you need. So if you have a base knowledge about what chakras are and you've heard them before in your yoga class, your meditation class, mindfulness, you've heard it and you picked it up along the way and you want to learn a little bit more, this is going to be a great intro. This is like a basic beginner's tutorial. Tutorial is the wrong word. This is more of a basic kind of education, foundational education that you can check out. And if you've experienced, this is where the psychological aspect comes in, because you won't even realize until we go through this together that some of the things that are coming up for you over and over and over again, some of the patterns that seem like, I just go through the same things over and over and over again, could be related to something that is happening within the subtle body. Now, when I refer to the subtle body, I'm talking about your energetic body, because the chakras, and we're going to get into this in a minute, they are the homes of all of the energy that flows from the base of your spine to the crown of your head, right? So there are little centers, and again, I'm going to define this in a minute, that hold all of your energy, and each one is responsible for a different thing. So if you're seeing specific patterns in your life, you might, at the end of this, be able to start relating it to some of the chakra systems. So let's talk about the definition of it, because for you to understand it, you need to know what it means, as always. So this is the easiest definition I've ever heard in my entire life. Literally, it's going to be the shortest. I mean, Reiki was pretty short too, but this is another really short one. So chakra is a Sanskrit word that means wheel or disc. However, it references a spiritual energy center within the body. So they're literally circles. And there's one in a position all the way up your spine. And what happens when they are working optimally, when they are in balance, they are doing their thing. Like they're going around and around. They're not like your grocery cart. And I think I made this reference in the Reiki video, meaning like, have you ever gotten one of those grocery carts and you're trying to push it and there's one wheel that's like, it just won't spin right? This is what we're talking about. That is a chakra that is out of balance. Now, they can either be underactive or they could be overactive. For the purposes of this video, we're going to be talking more about what happens when they're underactive as opposed to when they're overactive. Because in my line of work, this is what I see more often than not in clients that are coming to me. It's like I have a gift to sort of identify where their energy is trapped and what exactly needs to be worked on and what needs to be released in order to get that little chakra moving nice and easy, like all of the wheels on the cart moving beautifully. I'm going to drop the cart thing for now. And interestingly enough, each of these major chakras is associated with a part of the body. Some of them have to do with the reproductive system, some of them with the adrenals, some of them with your heart and chest area. It's really interesting. I was going to go into that more here, but again, this was getting way too long, but I want you to know each of them are associated with some of the organs in the body and some of the hormonal centers within the body as well too. But if you want more information on that, you can definitely check it out online, or you can ask me questions at some point. So just kind of as a caveat, if you're looking for something that you might, like if this is your first time hearing about chakras and it feels a little out there, like what are you talking about? My energy centers, this is hard for me to imagine or picture. I am sure at this point you have all come across Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As we go through this, you'll probably realize that this is sort of similar. Like Maslow's hierarchy of needs is about our own physical needs as a soul having a human experience. The chakra system is very similar in the steps and that they build on each other, but this is more applicable to your energetic body. So it kind of mirrors Maslow in a lot of ways. So if you're looking for an anchor, that might be something that will support you in understanding this system. So let's move along. Have I said everything I wanted to do? Okay, let's dive in. We can go. Okay, so as I mentioned previously, there are 7 major chakras in the body, of which we will cover 3. But again, this does not account for you have like chakras in your hand. You have them everywhere. It's incredible. And I mean, if I could get into every single one of them, I would, but that is just, nobody has time for that. Nobody. So we're going to talk about the first 3 today. And let's give it a go. So number 1 is your root chakra, Muladhara. That is the Sanskrit word. It is your very first chakra. It is located at the base of the spine. Think of like your tailbone where it ends. That is the home of your root chakra. All of the chakras also have colors associated with them. So the color of the root chakra is red in color. I wish I had a picture. That would have been really helpful, actually. I'm not going to get up and go and get a picture. Anyways, it is red. It is a circle at the base of the spine. It's messaging to you that it's trying to call out to you, that it's trying to share deeply with you is I exist. I exist. And it is responsible for your overall sense of safety, security, survival, physical strength. It is responsible for your survival of self. Now, a lot of I don't love this terminology because I think there's a bit of a cultural appropriation, not a bit. There is cultural appropriation associated with it, but a lot of experts in the world of chakras, including Cindy Dale, including Carolyn Miss, they refer to this as your tribal chakra, which tribal is the word I'm using this with a grain of salt in reference to this is how a lot of the people that are really professionals in this topic, sorry, I lost my train of thought, refer to it as. So this governs your meaning, it governs your family ties, your feelings of belonging and guardedness. Your earliest memories are stored here, including whether or not your basic needs were met. Okay, so this is also the home of your life force energy. You might have heard the term Kundalini thrown out there. If you've heard of Kundalini yoga or if you've done it before, the base of the spine, the root chakra, is the home of the Kundalini energy, all of which sits at the base of the spine and it's waiting for liberation. You've probably heard of the term Kundalini awakening or Kundalini rising or things like that. That is another topic in and of itself that I won't get into today, but this is the home of all your energy that's just waiting to rise up and liberate itself. So now, as I had mentioned, this particular chakra is the basis of all your safety, your foundation, how you grew up as a child. And let's think about that for a second. If you grew up in a family where you were loved, where you were given, all your needs were met, where your parents had a solid attachment to you, where, they were there for you, they supported you, they never made you feel as though you were less than. If that was your experience growing up, you likely have a root chakra that is functioning optimally, meaning it's not stuck, it's not, it's not inflated, it's not small, it's just as it meant to be. But if you grew up in a family that ignored you, that made you feel like you were unsafe, that was constantly criticizing you, where your parents really just ignored you, like you didn't matter, didn't give you the love that you needed, didn't have a strong attachment to you, you're going to have a lot of stagnant, heavy energy holding deep inside of that first chakra. And because the system builds upon itself, if your energy is stuck there, it's hard for you to make it to the next one, to allow that energy that's just sitting at the root of your spine to really liberate and rise up to the crown, to the top of your head. So it's going to be based on your individual upbringing. So if you grew up feeling unsafe, and unsafe could mean anything. I mean, unsafe could mean parents that ignored you, parents that were too hard on you, parents that fought consistently, just a home that felt unsafe, you will probably struggle in this first chakra area. So let's talk about how you know if it's blocked. Okay, so some of your beliefs around, you might know it's blocked if some of your belief systems sound like I am unwanted, I am unlovable, I am unsafe. If those are things you're consistently saying to yourself, you could have an underactive or blocked first chakra. You could be hyper vigilant, meaning you scare easily. Like if someone walks into a room, you're like, oof, I've struggled with this a lot in my life, a lot. If you are struggling with low self-esteem, neediness, or you're seeking external validation because you didn't receive it when you were a child, if you have a deep fear of change, of the unknown, if you have fear of abandonment, so much so that when you have somebody in your life, you just want to hold on to them because there's so much fear that if they leave, there you will have nobody. If you have a serious fear of the future, like you're so unsure of what's going to happen, it tends to hold you back and keep you stuck. If you have a scarcity mindset, meaning you're always worried about your finances, there's never enough money, I'll never have enough funds, I'll never be able to get ahead, I'll always be living the way I am now in terms of my financial standing, that can be a sign that there is some foundational challenge within that first chakra. If you're struggling with addictions, and I use addictions lightly because addictions are coping mechanisms. They're a way that your body has learned to cope with whatever's going on inside. And more importantly, if you feel disconnected, from yourself, from other people, like you and it are not one, you're not coming together. This is another sign that there's some challenge to work through there in the first chakra. And I want you to know, above all else, in most of the clients that come to me, I would say almost all of them, maybe 90% of them, the first chakra is the one that is out of balance. It's the one that needs addressing. And at this point in my programming, it's been through that talk therapy, through reframing, through looking at things differently, through, reconnecting in all of these women to who they are again. That's how we're moving through that first chakra, those first chakra challenges, and getting them back in balance. But Reiki can also support in releasing some of that energy, right? So let's talk about a few of the ways that you can increase your root chakra energy. Ways you can start to increase it on your own. You can wear red, for example. You can do a visualization, literally closing your eyes, grounding your feet, and picturing a red wheel at the base of your spine. Imagine it turning in a perfect circle. It's just doing its thing. It's not having any issues. It's not sticking. Even that visualization can help support the chakra and moving a little bit better. Okay. You can work with a therapist or a coach. You could do grounding techniques or breathing work to really support you in moving along the energy. Reiki, yoga, exercise, dancing, anything to get the energy moving. I actually saw I wish I knew this TikTok. I saw a girl on TikTok doing an exercise where she was sitting in a sumo squat and she was literally bouncing. And this was in an effort to get some of that energy out of the root chakra and moving and kind of breaking it up so that chakra can move more optimally. So that is our first chakra. I don't know why I'm up here because it should be down here. Anyways, moving on to number 2. This is your sacral chakra, or your svadhisthana is a Sanskrit word. The location is your lower abdomen. Think about kind of your, for women, where the home of all your reproductive organs. The color is orange. The messaging it's trying to get across to you is I desire. This chakra is responsible for your emotions. It governs your ability to express yourself, your feelings, your creativity, your passions, your pleasures, everything that is emotionally satiating and giving you joy. Really, this is your creative outlet. This is where your creativity, your passions, your dreams live. So you can see it would be hard for you to move up to the second chakra and tap into your passions, your dreams, everything you want. It would be hard for you to think it was all possible if you were still having issues in that first chakra, because remember, the energy is going to move up. And in order for it to move up, they have to be working optimally, right? So if you have the grocery cart first chakra, it's going to be hard for it to naturally channel that energy up into the second chakra, and for you to start to believe in the potentiality that your own dreams can come true, that you can use your creative outlet to make money, that you can start living your dreams and your passions, and it's possible, right? This is the home of this. All your creativity lies here. This is also, whereas the first chakra had everything to do with survival of the self, the second chakra starts to introduce connection, starts to introduce people into your life. There is a lot of, this is kind of where your sexual desire lives, your desire to connect with other people, to move, obviously to move, to procreate and stuff, is all located in that second chakra as well too. So it deals with intimate relationships with friends. And if you are already struggling, thinking that you are unlovable, you are unwanted, it's going to be hard for you to then tap into this need to have connection with other people. So if you find sometimes that it's really hard for you to put yourself out there, you don't have a lot of confidence, there's low self-esteem, it would be difficult for you to then put yourself out there, meet new people, meet friends, build connections, because the energy we haven't been able to push the energy up into the second chakra, right? So how do you know if it's blocked? Okay, this chakra has everything to know you're worthy and deserving of a pleasurable, abundant, and creative life. So if you feel like abundance is not for you, that you can't tap into your creativity, that you're not good at anything, if you're feeling completely uninspired and unaligned with your purpose here on earth, that's another pretty good indication that you've got some stuck energy here. If you're unnecessarily hard on yourself because you're not meeting your goals, but you can't even think about meeting your goals because you can't even imagine that it's possible for you to attain what you want, That is second chakra right there. That is what's going on there. We've got some stuck energy. And of course, as I had mentioned earlier, this has a lot to do with relationships, so your connections with other people. If you're struggling in the second chakra, you might be of the opinion that people coming into your life are there to cause you harm. They aren't there to enrich or teach you lessons or be an amazing part of your life. You are going to be of the opinion or feeling like they're just there to hurt you in one way or another. So this could also manifest in very low energy and feeling unloved, like nobody has your back, nobody supports you, and you have no talent. So let's talk about some ways to increase that sacral energy. Engage in a creative outlet. Journal, paint, dance, art, whatever it might be. Do something. Tap into your inner child. What did you love to do when you were a kid? Think back. What did little you love to do? Maybe you liked putting together Legos or playing with Kinects or playing board games. Do those things. Do those things that bring you joy. Even if they aren't creative, allow the inner child to come out and play and experience it and see the pleasures in life, even if they're a small pleasure, like playing Monopoly with your family. It's a small thing, but it can have an impact on that sacral chakra, okay? And I mean, let your imagination run wild. Let your dreams be what they are. Write down your dreams, no matter how outlandish they are. If you want to be a world famous actress on a Broadway stage and win a Tony Award, nothing is too big. If you can dream it, if you can think it, I want you to write it down. And I want you to start imagining, what if it was possible? Even just start imagining, what if it was possible? That is the point here. That's going to get that energy moving, because as long as you don't feel like it is possible for you, you're going to have that kind of stuck energy. So that is your second chakra. So our final chakra for today is the solar plexus, or manipura, which is the Sanskrit word. So the location of this is your navel to your rib cage. It's, I don't know if you can see me, but up right here. This is the home of the sacral chakra. This is one of my favorite chakras, and one that I really had to tap into myself. Its color is yellow. Its message it's trying to show you, to teach you, is I am in control. This is the chakra that is responsible for your personal power, for you knowing you are in control, for you understanding that you have the power to transform your life in a big way, that it is up to you, that you have the ability. This is the chakra that is responsible for that is responsible for showing you what a powerhouse you truly are, where you start to fire on all cylinders. This is a big one. And to get there, to be able to step into your personal power and take your power back, think about it again. If you're struggling with survival of self and you're not feeling good enough, you're not going to move into that second chakra, which is all about creativity, potentiality, reaching your dreams, accessing pleasures and abundance in your life, being open to receiving. If you don't have that energy moving optimally through those two, how can you be expected to recognize how powerful you are and how much you can tap into those potentialities, how much you can take back your control from other people and design a life based on your own needs as opposed to societal expectation? If those two aren't functioning the way they're supposed to, you're not going to be able to force that energy up into that third chakra and really step into it. When you have a balanced third chakra, you feel freaking alive. And that was the one thing that opened up for me. I stopped feeling like I was just living and started feeling like I was alive. I wasn't just living day to day, like letting every moment pass, not doing what I loved, grinding, living like a cog person. It's a new term I've come up with. And you can imagine it. If you're living just by societal expectations, it's like you're part of the cog. Go to work, get a corporate job, do all the education, get married, have kids, have grandkids, cog. Never just no thinking that you could go and be the actress you want to be or win a Tony. It's no. When you're in the cog, it's like, okay, I have to just do these. This is the path. There's no going outside of it. When you reach this point where this chakra is empowered, you feel like you can take on the world. You feel like the king of the world, like Leonardo DiCaprio in the Titanic. Anyways, moving on. This is the action chakra, the one that will give you the boost necessary to set goals, know that they're achievable, and tap into the potentiality that you are, and not letting anything stand in your way. You are going. And there's nothing stopping you. So how do you know if it's blocked? If you suffer from, again, low self-esteem, like you're not good enough, like everything is meant for everybody else, but not for you. If you feel like you're not in control, if you're still living in victim mentality, like the world is happening to you as opposed to you happening to the world and you making what you want of it, like you don't have power over your life. If you feel like your ability to make sound decisions for yourself has been taken away, this is all third chakra energy that we need to get moving. You get it moving like this, okay? If you lack trust in yourself, if you have difficulty with control, you might be somebody that wants to try and control like literally everything as much as you can. But as we've learned, it's not possible. You can only control yourself. You cannot control other people. You cannot control their behavior. The only thing you have control over is just you. So if you're trying to control everything around you and you're not looking within, it could mean that it's like a projection. Like you want to be able to control yourself as much as possible, but you feel like you can't, so you try and control everything else in order to satiate that need for power and control. But it's within your own hands to take it back. You decide. You take back your control. If you're you're struggling with showing up authentically and having self-doubt and it runs the show, we got to get that third chakra in check. And ultimately, you might be feeling apathetic or procrastinating a lot because you do not feel like you were in control of your own world. This is a big powerhouse chakra and it changes everything. Once you kind of get through this, once the energy raises up into this particular level, from here up, once you hit the heart and go up, things change. It's like you go from feeling like you're a part of only the physical world to crossing this path into this like spiritual world afterwards. But we're going to get into that next time. And that's why I'm purposely ending off with this particular chakra. So how can you increase the solar plexus energy? Disconnect from the idea that you are a victim. Because if you live in victim mentality, it's like you can't tell the difference between you and the victim. You're going to slowly start peeling you and victim mentality apart, and it's going to take time, a little bit at a time, recognizing that you have power, you have the ability to transform your own life. It is your responsibility. It is not the responsibility of anybody else. That power and that control lies just with you. So a little bit at a time. Try confidently making some decisions. Call on your intuition to make your decisions. Change your way of speaking. Instead of saying, I can't do that. That's not meant for me. I can't change my life. My life is what it is. There's no going anywhere. I'm doomed to live like this forever. Try saying, I could change my life to start. I could change the way I look at things. I could change my reality if that's the transition you need. And then finally, as you get better at this, step into I can change my life. I can have control. I can do the things I want. I can make my life manifest for myself. I can make the determination to change things. It's on me, right? Review your core values. Are they yours or are they someone else's? Because if you've been living life by someone else's values, it's time to take stock and realize that you're in charge. You run the ship, you decide. And as we close out today's topic, didn't expect to talk this long, but who's really surprised? Anyways, as I mentioned, Reiki sessions, single sessions, and package sessions are now available. I am offering them distantly for any of those that feel like that resonates or this is calling out to you. If you need more information on that, please reach out to me. I would be really excited to be able to work with you collaboratively in getting some of those chakras optimized. But for today, that is all we have. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you get out there and do something fun, and I hope you tap into your inner child. But with that, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.